Presented by Listen Headlines. Latest financial news from trusted sources.
Global economy. October 16. 6 o'clock America, New York. Where's the beef? China meat ban leaves Brazilian officials baffled. Suspension of shipments following mad cow cases threatens $4 billion a year trade. Global economy. October 16. 6 o'clock America, New York. Courier boss says UK Christmas shopping has started early. Yodel CEO says shoppers are heeding the warnings from retailers and logistics companies to buy in advance.
Wall Street Journal Markets. October 16, 5:30 America, New York. A Bitcoin ETF is almost here. What does that mean? With ProShares preparing for the launch of its exchange-traded fund, others are expected to follow as the Securities and Exchange Commission considers additional proposals.
New York Times Business. October 16. 5 o'clock America, New York. Can Fortescue's Andrew Forrest, a carbon-emitting iron ore tycoon, save the planet? Andrew Forrest made a mining fortune. Now he wants to lead a climate change revolution, and beat the fossil fuel giants along the way. Andrew Forrest, founder of the Fortescue Metals Group, on an iron ore shiploader at Port Hedland in Western Australia. New York Times Business. October 16. 5 o'clock America, New York. Short on staff, some hospices ask new patients to wait. It causes huge distress to tell a family, "We can't serve you," said one state hospice organization director, Dr. Cow and Ms. Cotton at Regency Park Place. New York Times Business. October 16. 5 o'clock America, New York. Why getting tested for COVID-19 can include a headache. Coronavirus testing prices vary widely and can reach into the hundreds of dollars, making it hard for some travelers to budget for the added expense. Depending on where they are going, travelers can find tests for free or must pay up to hundreds of dollars. New York Times Business. October 16. 5 o'clock America, New York. Instagram struggles with fears of losing its pipeline young users. The app, hailed as Facebook's growth engine, has privately wrestled with retaining and engaging teenagers, according to internal documents. Facebook had long hoped that Instagram would bring more young people to its entire family of apps. New York Times Business. October 16. 5 o'clock America, New York. China's scripted homicides become a popular pastime. Scripted homicide clubs have opened around the country as young people look for ways to escape and connect. Naturally, the government has questions. Players preparing to take part in the murder mystery game, The Haunted Mansion, at a role-play studio in Shanghai last year.
Daily FX Market News. October 16. 4 o'clock America, New York. Bitcoin, BTC, USD, surges back to multi-month highs on renewed ETF chatter. Bitcoin broke above $60,000 earlier in the session to a fresh multi-month high on the renewed expectation that the SEC will approve a futures-based Bitcoin ETF very soon.
Naked Capitalism. October 16, 1:55 America, New York. Why record numbers of workers are quitting and striking. Workers are getting uppity. What is surprising is that it took so long. Naked Capitalism. October 16, 1:23 America, New York. More disease than Dracula. How the vampire myth was born. On the Great Vampire Epidemic and other elements of vampire backstory.
Armstrong Economics. October 16. 003 America, New York. Facebook hearings parody. The usually left-leaning Saturday Night Live mocked the recent Facebook whistleblower testimony. Although it is still left-leaning, the writers must have realized that most U.S. lawmakers are completely out of touch with reality and the very issues they make decisions on. Armstrong Economics. October 16. 001 America, New York. Victoria, Australia. Police speak out. The Post-Victoria, Australia. Police Speak Out first appeared on Armstrong Economics.
Wall Street Journal Markets. October 16. 000 America, New York. The Great American Retirement Gamble. Pension managers, facing shortfalls, are turning to risky bets on private equity, private loans and real estate to plug gaps in their leaking bucket.
The Library of Economics and Liberty. October 15. 2218 America, New York. The Pros and Cons of Irish Democracy. If regular democracy isn't doing so well, maybe it's time to fall back on Irish democracy. That's what Yale political scientist James Scott calls the passive resistance of a society that doesn't like what its rulers are doing to it. New York Times Business. October 15. 2028 America New York, funding fight threatens plan to pump billions into affordable housing. A federal voucher program is at risk of being sharply scaled back as the White House seeks to slash its social policy package to appease two centrist senators. More than $300 billion for affordable housing in the Democrats' social spending package is at risk of getting a deep cut in negotiations.
Daily FX Market News. October 15. 2000 America New York, Australian dollar outlook. AUD, USD back on the offensive as COVID restrictions ease. The Australian dollar is seemingly back on the offensive as lockdowns ease in Sydney and Melbourne. Improving sentiment may allow AUD, USD to capitalize on rising equities and commodity prices.
New York Times Business. October 15. 1920 America New York, David F. Kennedy, whose ad agency put Nike on the map, dies at 82. Breaking from Madison Avenue tradition, he co-founded Whedon plus Kennedy in Portland, Oregon, one of the largest remaining independent agencies, that.
Wall Street Journal Markets. October 15, 1856 America New York, Bank of America, Netflix, Moderna, stocks that defined the week. Here are 7 major companies whose stocks moved on the week's news. Wall Street Journal Markets. October 15, 1830 America New York, ProShares readies Bitcoin ETF for launch. The firm is slated to be the first to roll out an exchange-traded fund based on Bitcoin futures.
Wall Street Journal U.S. Business. October 15, 1738 America New York, J.B. Hunt expects strong freight demand to extend into 2022. Freight bellwether J.B. Hunt Transport Services expects bottlenecks at West Coast ports to intensify heading into the holidays, with congestion continuing to snarl labor-strapped logistics networks. New York Times Business. October 15, 1733 America New York, Wall Street sees a record deal spree as reason for optimism. Fees from advising corporate clients on mergers and other deals raised bottom lines across Wall Street. Bankers say it's a good sign for the recovery. Whenever CEO.
BBC News Business. October 15, 1726 America New York, business insolvencies rise as government aid wanes. The number of firms going bust in September was at its highest since March 2020.